Swadee Krap and welcome to Thailand News Today, the weekend review. Thank you very much for tuning in as we catch up with some of the main stories that we covered during the week. Both Jett and myself coming to you from our half-empty offices up here in Bangkok. We just moved in this week and we've still got stuff all over the place, and we've also got quite a nice view out across Bangkok there in the background. Anyway, don't forget we've got our Thaiger Vlogger Challenge on at the moment, and that'll be going on for another week. We've got details below this particular video. Time now to catch up with the main stories that we covered on Thailand News Today this week. Police say they'll issue arrest warrants for at least 2 people in connection to Saturday's bomb attack near the Jamchery shopping centre and the Samyan MRT, just a few hundred metres from Lumpini Park. The people are suspected of throwing a ping pong bomb into a group of police officers, injuring 3 policemen and 1 reporter. Metropolitan Police say the perpetrators threw the bomb from a vehicle as they were travelling over the flyover. Police found nails, wire and black electrical tape at the scene of the modest explosion. The attack occurred at 6 p.m. on Saturday during a pro-democracy rally over the government's enforcement of the Lèse-Majesté law, which has seen over 43 people arrested, including students, since last November. Just last week, a Thammasat University student was arrested in his dorm room over the Lèse-Majesté charges.
As the devastating economic effects of the COVID-19 restrictions persist, a record number of Thai tourism operators are quitting the sector for good. The number of tourism companies surrendering their licenses peaked last month, and around 70% of outbound agents have now shut up shop indefinitely. The final nail in their collective coffins has been the latest COVID-19 resurgence, which was detected on December 20th last year in the central province of Samut Sakhon and has now spread to over 60 Thai provinces. The president of the Thai Travel Agents Association says around 10% of outbound tour operators have returned their licenses to the tourism department. 2,598 tourism operators have left the sector for good, unable to survive having no international tourists for nearly a year now. The last quarter of 2020 also saw the highest number of companies deregistering at 765. Of those, 293 quit just last month. Pundits predict that domestic tourism may pick up again by April, but this depends on how effective the government is at bringing the second wave of the virus under control. The TTAA adds that with the arrival of spring in many parts of the world in the coming months, global infections may fall, but it's still a waiting game. The TTAA says that in 2019, 11 million Thai tourists spent 430 billion baht on overseas trips. Last year, that number plummeted to just 1 million, spending only 50 billion baht, and most of that was in the first couple months of the year. The Thai baht opened at 30.12 against the US dollar yesterday, an indication of the baht's continued strength against foreign currencies. But a Krung Thai market strategist said the Thai currency is likely to move between 30.05 and 30.25 in the next few days. The market strategist explains that if the U.S. political situation stabilizes, the Biden government would push stimulus measures and the U.S. currency would likely rise to above the current levels. In the short term, however, he advised investors to keep an eye on stimulus packages issued by the government this week, adding that they will probably strengthen the baht further.
In a nationwide crackdown on gambling, police in the Isan province, Khon Kaen, raided a warehouse and seized more than 400 slot machines. Acting on a court warrant, police searched the warehouse. The locks on the door had been changed and police had to break into the warehouse. Inside, canvases covered 418 slot machines. Police say the machines were plug and play, ready to go. Officers say they believe the warehouse was linked to an illegal gambling den in the province. Surely not another one. No arrests have been made and police are still investigating. Chinese businessmen are helping to feed people in Pattaya after handing out over 1,000 meals to the needy last night. The handouts occurred near the Third Road, with Pattaya City Police nearby to help ensure social distancing and other safety measures. Hundreds of locals were seen queuing for the event well before it was scheduled to start, indicating the increasing need for aid in the financially crippled city. Pattaya is part of Chonburi province, an area that's been zoned as a highly controlled area due to the cluster of COVID-19 infections that started on December the 20th last year. Now, recently, Pattaya has recorded only one new case of the virus in the past 4 days and only single-digit cases in the past week. Local businesses are hoping this decrease in virus numbers will help speed up the reopening of businesses. Now, before we go any further, this is Kun Pruk, who is the head of our Thaiger team, writing all the Thai content. And how do we say the name of Pattaya? How do you say it as a Thai person?
Pattaya.
Again?
Pattaya.
There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for joining us for our review of the main stories from around Thailand and our Thailand News Today team. We appreciate you watching. We hope you have a fantastic rest of the weekend. We'll join you again on Monday.